Mr. Chairperson, also the delegation of the Holy See wishes to congratulate the Director General and the International Organization for Migration on its 65th anniversary, and to commend its dedication in promoting humane and orderly migration for the benefit of all. I would also like to extend our warm welcome to the Kingdom of Tonga, China, Solomon Islands, and Tuvalu in the IOM's family. Mr. Chairperson, it is certainly very sad that the number of people on the move in search of better opportunities, often fleeing from conflicts, famine, and also religious persecution, climate changes, and natural disasters, continues to increase incessantly. The motives for migration movements should cause us to question seriously our achievement as a human family and urge us to create what Pope Francis defined as a new social economy based on inclusion and justice, serving the many, not the few, and ultimately making migration an opportunity and a choice rather than a compelling decision. What is even worse, migrants are often treated as numbers and commodities and are too often perceived as a threat instead of a resource for the whole society. It is important to remember that behind the statistics are persons who are no different from our own family members and friends, each of them with a name, a face, a story, and aspiration, as well as an inalienable right to live in peace. The transfer of resources, skill, knowledge, and ideas through migration is substantial, but is often overlooked, as many delegations already stated. Moreover, the local integration in the host countries remains a critical challenge. Many migrants continue to live and to work in precarious conditions, and they face stereotyping and discriminations. They are often marginalized and without access to social services. When migrants are not integrated into society, they become isolated, creating a dangerous culture of mutual distrust and suspicion. We need to replace such a culture with a culture of dialogue and encounter. Mr. Chairperson, the Holy See wishes to express its support for the IOM endeavor on this matter and wants to assure its readiness to collaborate actively in the negotiations leading to the Global Compact, bringing to bear its own experience in the field of international migration. Such a process should channel all efforts toward the achievement of significant and far-sighted results, and it should be guided by a spirit of solidarity, by centrality of the human person and his or her dignity, and by desire to promote integral human development. In this regard, my delegation fully supports and thanks the Director General, Ambassador William Lacy Swing, in his offer to serve as Secretary General in the Intergovernmental Conference in 2018, and for this his proposal to dedicate the international dialogue on migration to the discussion on the Global Compact. Mr. Chairperson, of particular concern for the Holy See is the vulnerability of child migrants, to whom Pope Francis dedicated his message for 2017, the World Day of Migrants and Refugees. Pope says children constitute the most vulnerable group because as they face the life ahead of them, they are invisible and voiceless. Their precarious situation deprives them of documentation, hiding them from the world's eyes. The absence of adults to accompany them prevents their voices from being raised and heard. The number of children on the move is growing exponentially. All over the world, conflicts affect 240 million children, and many of them face forced displacement, right violations, lack of access to basic services and health and nutrition challenges. They often fall victim to perverse scourges such as child trafficking, exploitation, and abuse. No matter where they are or where they come from, all children have individual needs and rights even when they cross borders. Minors, given their vulnerability, have different needs than adults, and policies must prioritize their best interest in all stages. Mr. Chairperson, children are the first among those who pay the heavy price of migration, almost always caused by violence, poverty, environmental imbalances and disasters, as well as the negative aspect of globalization. Let us be brave and resolute in our commitment to tackle the causes which triggered forth the migration in the countries of origin. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.